In the shadowed corners of history, where the dust of the past settles thick and heavy, lie stories that defy easy explanation. These are the tales that linger in the collective memory, whispered from one generation to the next, becoming legends etched into the very soul of a place. Today we journey into a time and a land often overlooked in the grand saga of the American West, Louisiana. Far from the sun-baked deserts of Arizona or the dusty cattle trails of Texas, the bayous, piney woods, and no-man's lands of Louisiana harbored their own brand of frontier justice, outlawry, and deep, unsettling mystery. This was a Wild West tinctured with a unique Southern Gothic flavor, a world of feuding families, phantom treasures, and murders that echo to this day. Join us as we peel back the layers of time to explore 6 unresolved mysteries and tragic legends from Louisiana's own Wild West days. Our first mystery takes us to the tumultuous years following the Civil War, a period of chaos and lawlessness, particularly in the untamed region of southwest Louisiana known as the Neutral Strip. It was here that a figure of both terror and folk heroism emerged, Leather Breeches Smith. A notorious outlaw and the leader of a ruthless gang, Smith was a phantom of the piney woods, his real name lost to history, replaced by the moniker derived from his distinctive buckskin trousers. His gang, the Clan, robbed, rustled, and terrorized with impunity, their reign of fear culminating in a bloody showdown with local regulators in 1870. The battle was fierce, and when the gunsmoke cleared, Leather Breeches Smith lay dead, but his death was only the beginning of the mystery. Legend holds that Smith had amassed a considerable fortune in stolen gold and silver, burying it in multiple caches throughout the Calcasieu and Sabine River region. Before his final gunfight, he was said to have cryptically told his followers that his treasure was buried where the sun never shines. For decades, this phrase has fueled a relentless treasure hunt. Was it a literal clue pointing to a dark cave or the north side of a hill? Or was it a metaphor, a final taunt from a man who took his secrets to the grave? Despite countless expeditions, equipped with everything from old maps to modern metal detectors, not a single piece of Smith's legendary fortune has ever been found. The treasure of Leather Breeches. Smith remains a tantalizing ghost, a lost prize from an era when outlaws ruled the Louisiana frontier. Next, we delve into a chilling tale of betrayal and a curse that is said to plague a family to this day. We speak of the legend of the Cooley-Tatum feud. In the late 19th century, the families of John Cooley and Alfred Tatum were neighbors in the dense, isolated woods of northern Louisiana, near what is now Webster Parish. Relations were initially amicable, but they soured dramatically over a land dispute, or, as some versions of the story claim, a stolen hog. The conflict escalated, culminating in a brutal ambush. Alfred Tatum and his sons, believing they were wronged, allegedly lay in wait for John Cooley. They gunned him down in cold blood, leaving his body where it fell. Before he died, Cooley is said to have uttered a chilling curse upon the Tatum family, vowing that they would forever be marked by violence and that none of their male line would ever live to see old age. The immediate aftermath was a spiral of revenge, with more violence erupting between the families and their allies. But the true mystery lies in the supposed power of the curse itself. Over the ensuing generations, the Tatum family was reportedly struck by an uncanny number of tragedies. Young men died in freak accidents, succumbed to sudden illnesses, or met violent ends. Locals whispered that Cooley's curse was real, a spectral hand reaching from the past to exact its unending revenge. While skeptics point to the harsh realities of rural life and mere coincidence, the sheer volume of misfortune has cemented the legend in local folklore. The question remains unresolved. Was it a string of terrible coincidences, or did a dying man's final, hate-filled words cast a genuine shadow of doom over a family for more than a century. Our third story is one that blurs the line between historical event and supernatural folklore, the ghost of the Purple Crayon murders. In the 1890s, the small community of Opelousas was gripped by a series of gruesome and baffling murders. The victims were found slain in their homes with no signs of forced entry, their valuables untouched. The only clue left at each scene was a bizarre and terrifying calling card, a cryptic symbol or message scrawled on a wall or a piece of paper, always in a distinctive waxy purple crayon. The community was paralyzed with fear, locking their doors and viewing neighbors with suspicion. The Purple Crayon killer became a boogeyman, a phantom who could seemingly walk through walls and kill without motive. The local sheriff was stumped, and despite a massive investigation and the circulation of lurid tales in newspapers across the state, no suspect was ever apprehended, and the murders abruptly stopped as mysteriously as they had begun. The unresolved nature of the case allowed legend to take root. People began to claim that the killer was not a man at all, but a malevolent spirit, or a loup-garou, the Cajun werewolf. Decades later, stories are still told of a spectral figure seen wandering the old roads near Opelousas, and some claim to have found eerie purple markings appearing on the walls of old homes, a ghostly echo of a killer who was never caught. Was this the work of a cunning, flesh and blood serial killer, or was the community being terrorized by something far more ancient and sinister? The Purple Crayon remains a symbol of one of Louisiana's most terrifying and unsolved criminal cases. From a phantom killer, we turn to a story of lost silver and a vanished expedition. This is the legend of the lost San Saba mine, also known as the Jim Bowie mine. While most associated with Texas, the legend has deep roots and a mysterious chapter in Louisiana. In the early 19th century, stories of a fantastically rich Spanish silver mine, the San Saba, circulated throughout the frontier. The famous adventurer and knife fighter, Jim Bowie, became obsessed with finding it. Before his heroic death at the Alamo, Bowie spent years searching, allegedly following old Spanish maps and Native American guides. One of his longest and most secretive expeditions took him deep into the wild lands of western Louisiana, an area then known as the Neutral Strip, a lawless buffer zone between Spanish Texas and the United States. Bowie, along with his brother Resin and a small party, is said to have ventured into the Kisatchie Hills, a rugged and remote area even today. According to the legend, they were searching for a specific offshoot or a sister mine to the San Saba. Guided by a map tattooed on the back of a captured Comanche warrior, the expedition vanished into the woods for months. When they finally emerged, they were gaunt, secretive and empty-handed, refusing to speak of what they had seen or what had happened to them. Rumors flew that they had found the mine, but were driven away by hostile tribes or a supernatural guardian. Others whispered that they had been cursed, and that the map had led them to a place of great evil rather than riches. After Bowie's death, the exact location of his Louisiana search was lost. The mystery endures. Did Jim Bowie get close to one of the richest silver mines in North America, right in the heart of Louisiana? Was his silence a result of failure? Or did he find something so terrifying in those hills that he swore never to reveal it? The Kisatchie Hills keep their secrets, and the location of Bowie's lost mine remains one of Louisiana's most enduring frontier legends. Our fifth mystery is a tragic tale of love, jealousy, and a murder that has never been solved. The disappearance of Julia Toury. In the late 1880s, in the bustling Cajun prairie town of Rain, Julia was known for her exceptional beauty and vivacious spirit. She was the belle of the town, courted by many, but her heart belonged to a handsome young man from a rival family. Their love was a source of tension, played out against a backdrop of community dances and simmering family pride. One autumn evening, Julia attended a local fête du dos, a lively Cajun dance. She was seen dancing and laughing, but after stepping outside for a breath of fresh air with her suitor, she was never seen alive again. Panic ensued, and a search party scoured the surrounding prairies and bayous. Her suitor was the primary suspect, hounded by both the law and Julia's grieving family. He swore his innocence, claiming they had argued and she had walked off alone into the night. With no body and no confession, he could not be convicted, but he lived the rest of his life under a cloud of suspicion. Years passed, and Julia's fate became a tragic local legend. Some believed she had simply run away to escape the family feud. Others were convinced her lover had killed her in a jealous rage and hidden her body so well it would never be found. A more ghostly tale suggests that her spirit, known as La Belle Dame de Rain, still wanders the prairie, forever searching for the happiness that was stolen from her. The disappearance of Julia Turi is a heartbreaking cold case, a reminder that even in a close-knit community, a person can simply vanish, leaving behind only questions and a lingering sense of sorrow. Finally, we come to a story of political assassination and a conspiracy of silence that has shrouded a Louisiana parish in mystery for over a century. This is the unsolved murder of Sheriff David D. Dungan of Natchitoches Parish. In 1892, Natchitoches was a hotbed of political factionalism and violent disputes, a legacy of the bitter Reconstruction era. Sheriff Dungan was a powerful and controversial figure, a man with many friends and even more enemies. On a cool November night, he was walking home from his office on the Natchitoches riverfront. As he passed a dark alley, a shotgun blast erupted from the shadows, and Sheriff Dungan fell dead in the street. The assassination of a high-ranking lawman sent shockwaves through the state. The governor offered a substantial reward, and detectives were dispatched to investigate. The investigation quickly revealed a tangled web of political rivalries, land disputes, and personal vendettas. It was widely believed that the murder was a political conspiracy, orchestrated by Dungan's opponents who sought to seize control of the parish. Several prominent citizens were considered suspects, but no one would talk. An impenetrable wall of silence, built from fear and loyalty, descended upon the town. Witnesses clammed up, alibis were conveniently provided, and the investigation stalled. Despite years of inquiry and countless theories whispered in saloons and barbershops, no one was ever charged with the murder of Sheriff Dungan. The killer, and any who may have hired him, got away with it. The murder stands as a stark example of a different kind of frontier justice, where a conspiracy of silence can be more powerful than the law itself, leaving a brazen crime to become a permanent, unresolved chapter in the town's history. From buried outlaw gold to a dying man's curse, from a phantom killer's calling card to a vanished silver mine, and from a lost love to a political assassination, these stories are woven into the very fabric of Louisiana. They are the whispers in the rustling cypress trees, the shadows that dance in the flickering gas lamps of the French Quarter, and the unanswered questions that lie buried beneath the humid soil. They remind us that the past is never truly dead. It is a landscape of its own, filled with mysteries that continue to haunt us, challenge us, and spark our imagination. The official records may be closed, the witnesses long gone, but the legends endure, ensuring that the wild, untamed spirit of Louisiana's frontier days will never be forgotten.